Welcome to the UCM Interface Bible Study dito sa 702 DZAS FEBC Radio TV. Agapay ng Sambayanan. Isa itong conversational expository Bible study program hatid sa inyo ng UCM Interface, ang Young Adults Ministry ng Union Church of Manila. We do our best to study context and let Scripture speak for itself. Ang programang ito ay isang teaching ministry ng Union Church of Manila, a church of many nations committed to making disciples who are transformed by the gospel of Jesus Christ. Pero bago kami magsimula, thank you for joining us at kung trip nyo itong ginagawa namin, please subscribe and share with your friends and family. Okay, sino-sino ba ang mga kasama natin ngayon?
I'm back, Arvin. Ako ay Associate Pastor sa Joy Christian Fellowship, Intramuros.
Ito si Gutch, commercial voice artist.
Ako naman si Rainier, ang Young Adult Ministry Director ng Union Church of Manila.
Start with verse 1. And as for me, in the first year of Darius the Mede, I stood up to confirm and strengthen him. Nagkasalita pa rin dito yung angel, di ba?
Yes.
Right.
Kasi nagbabakbakan yung sa loob ng Persia, yung Prince of Persia and yung forces of God. It could have actually influenced Cyrus, ba, as to why he had favor for the Jews.
Right.
It must have been influenced behind the scenes in the spiritual realm.
Oo. Sa likod nga ng mga pangyayaring ito ay meron palang spiritual battle na nagaganap.
Oo. Let's continue. Ito na yung simula and also where the chart starts then dun sa aming Google Sheets. Just to remind our listeners, yung date of writing ng Book of Daniel is around 605 to 530. Basically, yung buhay ni
Nebuchadnezzar.
and all the way to Cyrus, di ba? Work history ni Daniel dito sa Babylon, di ba?
Right.
So, 605 to 530, itong mga pangyayari across 11 will be 300, 400 years after. Parang ganon. Tayo, may benefit tayo of looking at history.
Pabalikan lang natin yung history.
Oo. So, yung benefit sa atin to. Pero para sa kanya, mahaba-habang forecast na hindi niya naintindihan.
Oo.
Another thing then is that because of the accuracy ng prophesied events that will happen dito sa Daniel 11, maraming critics na nagsasabi na parang imposible.
Imposible. Parang sinulat yung Daniel after these events had already transpired.
Kasi grabe, swak na swak eh. Anyway, we won't get into that detail on like debate on that. Pero sa research namin, there's just so much historical proof that Daniel was written back around that time, 530 BC. Anyway, tuloy tayo. So verse 2 to 4, meron ditong 3 more kings and a fourth na super yaman will stir up all against Greece. Yung current king dito ay si Cyrus. And then meron pang 3 and then may pang-4 na mayaman who will go against Greece. If you guys have studied Esther with us, na-mention tong king na to dito at siya ay si Xerxes. Yes. Siya yung pang-4 na sinasabi who will go against Greece. And then after niya, sa verse 4, a mighty king shall arise, and as soon as he has arisen, his kingdom shall be divided 4 ways. Tapos siya mismo, hindi mag-benefit. At itong king na to, si Alexander. Alexander the Great, which is probably yung pinaka-popular na pangalan dito. I think a lot of people know who Alexander the Great is. At diniscuss natin siya dun sa Daniel 7.
One of the beasts. Siya yung leopard na may pakpak, kaya ang bilis-bilis, sobrang bilis.
Yung leopard and yung goat. Yung 11 parang culmination ng iba-ibang mga vision na.
Right.
Tapos, sobrang bilis ng rise niya. And then, at the height of his power, biglang, tapos.
Kasi yung career ni Alexander the Great, 10 taon lang yan eh.
Pero sobrang grabe yung na-achieve niya in 10 years,
ang
diba?
Bilis. Yung expansion ng empire niya, grabe, ang bilis. Yun nga lang, nagkasakit. Tapos namatay.
Diba sabi doon, madi-divide yung kingdom niya 4 ways. Tapos siya mismo, hindi siya mag-benefit. Kasi yung nangyari naman nun, yung kingdom niya was divided 4 ways kasi nagkanya-kanya yung 4 na general. Tapos, hindi siya nag-benefit kasi yung mga anak mismo niya, pinagpapatay din eh.
Kaya nawalan siya ng heir. At saka bata pa yung mga anak niya dahil nung namatay si Alexander the Great, I think he was only 32 years old. Bata pa talaga.
Just imagine, pina-assassinate yung mga to, itong mga little kids na to. Ang lupit talaga.
Yeah.
At hindi pa nagtatapos yun kasi marami pa mangyayaring kalokohan. Anyway, verse 5, so right after Alexander the Great, merong king of the south. At kung titingnan natin yung chart natin, ito si Ptolemy the First. So siya yung king of the south. Ngayon, meron siyang alagad, one of his princes, sabi, who will be stronger than him. Kasi itong alagad niya, pinapunta niya dun sa Babylon area, sa north, with his sponsorship. Sige, balik ka. Tapos, 2 years after nakabalik, nagkanya-kanya din siya. He assumed the title of king of the north. Ang laki nung sakop nung north. Ang pangalan na tong dude na to ay Seleucus Nicator?
Nicator, yes.
Seleucus Nicator. So, So we have Ptolemy the First as the king of the south and Seleucus Nicator, the king of the north, who became stronger because mas malaki yung region niya, teritoryo.
Kaya ngayon, itong Northern Kingdom, naging Seleucid Kingdom.
Yeah, Seleucid Kingdom. Our listeners, you can see that sa map if you check yung link namin. You can see yung Seleucid Kingdom is like 5 times bigger
Yeah, parang ganun
than the
eh.
south.
Oo.
Ptolemaic Kingdom.
Egypt.
And something also interesting to note dito is the position of Israel. And it's right smack in the middle.
Yes.
Right.
Kasi, bata na tayo sa verse 6. May sort of power struggle na nangyayari between North and the South. So ngayon, ito na yung mga anak ng first generation of kings. Si Ptolemy at saka si Seleucus. So meron na silang mga anak. Ito na yung generation 2. Key verse here for me was, they shall make an alliance and the daughter of the king of the South shall come to the king of the North.
Okay.
So si Ptolemy II, anak ni the first, makes an alliance with Antiochus the second.
Si Antiochus II Theos.
Theos. Okay. Tapos yung alliance terms nila, yung isa sa mga terms, is yung anak ni Ptolemy II na ang pangalan ay si Berenice. Ipapakasal kay Antiochus II. So it's a political marriage.
Yes.
So the daughter of the south shall come to the north.
Kaso,
Si Antiochus,
may asawa.
may asawa. Grabe, no? Parang teleserye lang, ano? Si Antiochus II, may asawa na. Ang pangalan ay si Laodice.
Laodice.
Oo. And syempre, hindi siya masaya na i-divorce siya para sa
Oh.
political marriage na to. So, si Laodice, yung ex-wife, medyo may pagka-Cersei Lannister to eh. Very influential, very powerful. So, ang ginawa niya, long story short, pinapatay ni Laodice yung
Okay.
kanyang ex-husband, si Antiochus, si Berenice, yung number 2, at yung infant son ni Antiochus
Grabe.
at ni Berenice. Infant son, grabe. Tindi, di ba?
Grabe.
Tindi.
Talagang Game of Thrones ito.
Oo, grabe, di ba? So, lupit talaga eh. Napakalupit eh. Which opened the way for Laodice to take the throne.
Yeah.
Siya na yung bago. Kaya dun sa verse 6 nga, sabi, but she, talking about Berenice, shall not retain the strength of her arm. Basically, power won't stay with them.
Right.
Mhm.
Which leads to the next king sa verse 7. Si Seleucus II, generation 3 na. So verses 7 to 9, from a branch from her roots, one shall arise in his place. Mas maganda actually yung version ni Arvin eh. Maganda yung...
But one of the descendants of her line will arise in his place.
Straightforward yun eh. Sinasabi dito, yung kapamilya ni Berenice, susugod, shall arise. At ito yung kapatid ni Berenice, si Ptolemy III. So yung bro niya, syempre, sumugod sa north for vengeance.
Yes.
Pinapatay yung sister, di ba? And back to the verse, he shall deal with them and shall prevail. Mananalo siya. May war na mangyayari dito. And Ptolemy III will defeat the northern kingdom and bring a lot of the spoils back to Egypt. Yung gods nila and the iron. Tapos merong side note dito na may peace treaty na mangyayari.
Right.
Na he shall refrain from attacking the king of the north. Another side note then about the north, si Seleucus II trying to get back territory from the south, pero hindi siya magsasucceed, parang babalik-balik lang din siya. Okay, next. So generation 4 na tayo, verses 10 to 12. Nakasulat dito, his sons shall wage war and assemble a multitude of great forces. May gera na naman. Puro gera na naman, di ba? Most notable dito sa mga sons na to is the second son of Seleucus II. Again, from the north. Ito na yung mga sons of the north. At yung pangalan na to ay si Antiochus III.
The Great.
Antiochus the Great.
The Great,
But
yes.
great.
The Great kasi maganda yung military success ni Antiochus III kaya the Great daw siya. So maganda yung military success niya until natalo siya ni Ptolemy IV.
Si Ptolemy IV Philopator. Kasi dito sa gera na to, Antiochus the Great, na yung kanilang tug-of-war ni Ptolemy IV, ang ipit na ipit talaga dito, Israel. Gitnang-gitna kasi siya.
Right smack in the middle of all this war. And it really feels like these super giants fighting each other and then nasa gitna ka lang parang, napakapakan ako. Parang,
Diba?
Yeah.
Na wala ka talagang magawa. Wala kang magawa.
Wala silang magawa.
Sa gitna ng crossfire.
Yeah, gitna talaga sila ng crossfire. Sa verse 12, this is also another side note. I think what this is saying is that kasi dahil mananalo si Ptolemy IV kay Antiochus the Great, medyo magiging mayabang siya eh, di ba?
Uh-huh.
Tapos I think mag-uuwi siya ng mga POWs. Tapos i-execute niya by the tens of thousands. Kasi yabang parang panalo na ako. Patay.
Brutal.
That's what I think this verse is saying. From what I've been reading lang, I think this is what it's saying, but I could be wrong. So it looks like panalo na siya. And pinagyayabang niya na panalo na siya. But it's also said in verse 12 na apparently he won't keep his victory forever.
He shall not prevail.
He shall not prevail. And I think that's another big theme dito, na alam mo, panalo ka na. Sige, hindi pa pala. Parang ganyan.
Yeah.
Ayun. So anyway, verse 13. Ito, generation 4.5. Kasi at this point, namatay na si Ptolemy IV. Buhay pa si Antiochus the Great. Pero, meron ng anak si Ptolemy IV. Si Ptolemy V.
Ptolemy Epiphanes.
Ptolemy Epiphanes. Yung problema, 4 years old lang siya.
Kaya buhay na buhay pa si
Antiochus the Great. So Antiochus the Great, veteran, ang kalaban,
bata.
4-year-old. Diba? Baka hindi pa nga potty trained to So, paano na yan? O di nakakita ng window of opportunity sa Antiochus the Great. Kasi sabi sa verse 13, the king of the north shall again raise a multitude greater than the first. Alam na niya na mananalo siya. Pasok na natin lahat ng cards natin dito. Diba? All in na to. So, nagdala siya ng even bigger army than before. And this time, he defeats the south.
Yes,
syempre, kalaban niya, 4 years old.
Oo. Parang inagawan lang ng mga laruan niya. Ganun lang. Ngal-ngal na yung bata. Ngal-ngal si Ptolemy Epiphanes.
Yun. Tapos verse 14, may mention dito about the violent among your own people shall lift themselves up in order to fulfill the vision. Ito parang may mga pro-North na Jews. Kampi sila kay Antiochus. And they're also violent in order to fulfill the vision. I think it's because they want to make sure that the vision will happen. Siguraduhin na natin na mangyayari to with our own strength. Pero matatalo din sila. Di ba? Matatalo din sila.
I think to add lang din, merong dito sa nabasa kong resource, sabi, yung mga Jews daw, medyo fed up na sila dun sa heavy taxation ng South. So ngayon, parang iniisip nila, sige, mag-side tayo nga.
Kay Antiochus.
Oo, kay Antiochus.
Iniisip na maganda ang treatment sa kanila daw.
Oo. Pag nanalo to, baka mas maganda yung treatment
Sige lang.
sa atin, sa taxation. Yun yung sinasabing iniisip nila. Kaya nagkaroon ng rebellion sa Palestine.
Ang tanong, maganda ba treatment talaga sa kanila? Yun yung...
Yun lang.
Ayun. Anyway, so punta tayo sa verse 15 to 19. Yung first part nito, may siege and everything. Basically, yung sinasabi sa 15 and 16, si Antiochus the Great, unstoppable siya. And he will possess Israel, yung the glorious land, or yung the beautiful land.
Beautiful land. Kaya sa puntong ito, na-overtake na ni Antiochus the Great yung buong lupa ng Israel. Kanila na.
Oo. So again, Antiochus the Great is from the north. Okay? So north, parang binuldoze na nila. Lakas nila I guess it wouldn't turn out well for Israel either kasi with destruction in his hand. Tama, di ba?
Yes.
So verse 17, ito yung medyo magandang intriga dito. He shall give him the daughter of women to destroy the kingdom, but it shall not stand or be to his advantage. So yung nangyari dito, si Antiochus the Great gusto ng full control sa south. So ang ginawa niya, kasi panalo na rin naman siya. Sige, ganito na gawin natin. Si Ptolemy V, Epiphanes, na around that time, 7 years old pa lang. Ipapakasal ko yung daughter ko dito sa King of the South.
Cleopatra.
Oo, si Cleopatra. But this is not the Cleopatra na kilala natin.
Yes.
Kasi kung ilagay natin by number, this is Cleopatra the First.
Parang gano'n. So, hindi ito si Elizabeth Taylor.
Hindi ito si Elizabeth Taylor. Hindi ito yung popular Cleopatra in media. This is the namesake.
Grabe. Ang luma ng reference ko. Talaga Elizabeth Taylor.
Grabe, no?
Hindi ko nga siya kilala
Anyway.
So, ibinigay kay
So, ibibigay, si Antiochus the Great. Sige, ipapakasal ko tong daughter ko kay Ptolemy V para ma-impluwensyahan ng aking daughter yung South. Tapos eventually, pag nagkaanak sila, heir yung anak nila ng both North and South. At ako ang magiging pinakalolo ng North and South.
Ayan na.
Yeah, he's clearly doing it for his advantage.
Oo, syempre. Advantage
I wanted to be on my advantage.
To his advantage.
Klase. Talagang malala pa to sa Game of Thrones.
Diba? Ito yung problema. Hindi nasunod yung plano. Kasi, nung magpakasal na yung daughter niya, kumampi yung daughter niya sa asawa rather than sa tatay.
In other words, umibig.
Kaya yung sinasabi doon sa it shall not stand or be to his advantage.
Oh.
It shall not stand or be to his advantage again as before. Yung mga plano nyo na udlot. So, syempre, nung nagkaanak sila, walang benepisyo dun kay Lolo.
Oo.
At nung namatay si Ptolemy V at naging queen yung daughter niya, wala pa ring advantage kay Antiochus. Naudlot yung plano ni Antiochus.
Yes.
And then, ito na, verse 18 to 19. There's a lot of details here about a commander shall put an end to his insolence, shall turn his face back toward the fortresses of his own land. The gist of it, Antiochus finally faces Rome in battle and loses badly.
Kasi ito na yung sinabi dun sa Daniel chapter 7. Ito na yung pang-apat na beast. Ito, makapangyarihan na to na tatalo dun sa pangatlong beast, the Greek Empire.
Right. Rome takes Antiochus III's lands, yung kanyang elephant brigade, which is basically parang yung mga tangke, yung navy niya, and some hostages, and also merong monetary compensation na sobrang tindi. To the point that it drove Antiochus the Great king, the great conqueror, to a life of banditry. And eventually, namatay siya as a bandit.
Oo.
Hindi ko lang maawa ka eh. Kasi yung nangyari dito, nag-raid siya ng temple. Ganun naka-low, nag-raid siya ng temple. Tapos yung villagers, sugod! So sinugod sila ng villagers. Ayun, patay sila Antiochus the Great. Ng villagers, di ba? So in gamer terms, and I'm sure may gets ni Arvin to, napatay siya ng creeps.
He was killed by a mob. An angry mob.
GG na siya ng creeps. Okay, so nasa verse 20 na tayo. Okay, so ito na, generation 5 na to. The sons of Antiochus the Great. Yung isa ay si Seleucus the Fourth.
Philopator.
Nag-raise ng taxes significantly to pay Rome. Kasi may damages eh. Kailangan nila magbayad eh.
Oo.
And meron siyang noteworthy na tax collector. Tapos talagang taxes, ganyan.
Parang head ng BIR.
Oh, yan, di ba? Oh. Times 10, di ba? Super Saiyan BIR.
Tapos ang nabigatan dito sa taxes na to, Israel.
I guess they were expecting na i-treat sila nicely kasi nag-side sila with Antiochus. Tapos eventually, wala rin.
Bayad kayo ng buwis. Yan.
Sa tindi niya, ang sinabi pa rito, he even tried to plunder the temple in Jerusalem.
So namatay si Seleucus the Fourth.
Right.
He reigned for 12 uneventful years and eventually, pinoison din siya ng tax collector niya. Which now goes to, ito na yung medyo matindi.
Yan na.
So, verses 21 to 35. Ito na. So remember, di ba may hostages na kinuha yung Rome from Antiochus the Great?
Right.
One of them is very, very important in this narrative. To the point na binigyan siya ng focus from 21 to 35. And this guy is Antiochus Epiphanes. Or as with our previous episodes sa Daniel 8, 9 to 12, the little horn. Sobrang importante siya kasi ang dami niyang ginawa specifically against the Jews. Matinding persecution and the desecration of the altar.
Right.
Just to make note lang doon sa Epiphanes, yung Greek word na yun, ang ibig pa lang sabihin nun is the manifest one or God manifest.
God manifest.
So parang Diyos talaga yung sarili niya.
Which we mentioned nga sa chapter 8 na he really thought of himself as God manifest. Verse 21, to whom royal majesty has not been given, he shall come in without warning and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. Kasi hindi siya dapat yung kukuha ng throne eh. Maraming ibang contenders na more worthy than him.
May anak si Seleucus the Fourth eh. Si Demetrius the First.
Pero dinaan niya sa politika.
Yes.
Intrigue, deception, assassinations. Kaya yung description sa kanya, very contemptible person. So verses 22 to 27, this chunk describes Antiochus Epiphanes' military success. May pinapatay siyang high priest in Israel na yung tinatawag nilang Prince of the Covenant. Tapos meron siyang mga alliances na, I guess, deceptive alliances na, ano ba to? Parang naglokohan lang ba sila or something? Tapos may plundering lands at a time of peace. Akala ng mga tao na peacetime. Tapos sugod siya. Di talagang out of nowhere.
Biglang mga agaw.
Patayan.
Mga agaw ng lupa.
Oh, and then yung nag-scatter siya ng plunder. So he used the loot to buy loyalty. So kaya yung marami siyang alliances pero lahat to pinagbibili siguro. Yung foundation ng alliances niya is bought.
Grabe. Naisip ko dyan yung mga pag-eleksyon. Diba? Oo, sige, mag-invest kayo sa akin. Pag nanalo ako, lahat tayo, may kinabang tayo. Politikong-politiko eh.
And I'm not sure kasi deceptive din siya. So I wonder if how much of these alliances did he really keep his word.
Right.
So anyway, there was a great war against the king of the south where Antiochus Epiphanes wins through a combination of military might, intrigue, plots, and betrayal. Kasi dun sa verse 24 5 and 26. Kahit yung mga kakain with the King of the South, ibibitray siya eh. Game of Thrones. Game of
Oo.
Thrones.
Saka very self-serving. Wala naman talagang totoong kaibigan dito. Ang loyalty nila, yung self-interest lang nila.
It's really obsession with power, obsession with territory, to be on top.
Papatayan talaga sila. Mahirap yung ganun eh, yung nasa grupo ka tapos di mo alam kung against na pala sa yung kasama mo. Dahil
Traiduran.
Traiduran talaga. Scary. Sa verse 28, ito na. But his heart shall be set against the holy covenant.
Patay.
So meron na ditong mention nung hatred niya against the people of Israel, which is very important to take note of for the following verses. Sa verse 29 to 31, meron siyang move against Egypt, pero hindi siya magsasucceed kasi yung Rome magi-intervene and will warn him, oy, huwag kang makigulo dito sa Egypt or susugurin ka namin.
Oo.
Mhm.
Oo.
Hindi niya kaya yung Rome eh. So he retreats. And this is mentioned in verse 30, yung ships of Kittim shall come against him and he shall be afraid and withdraw. Yung Kittim is an island
Western
west.
coastland.
West is where Rome is. And Kittim is an island na probably andun yung mga ships ng Rome. Ginamit nilang parang naval base siguro. And then ito na, a few verses here. And shall turn back and be enraged and take action against the Holy Covenant, profane the temple and fortress, take away the regular burnt offering, set up the abomination that makes desolate. So, umuwi siya, galit na galit, at nilabas niya yung galit niya sa people of Israel.
Yung nadaanan niya.
Siguro.
No?
Galit na rin naman siya eh. So, nilabas niya yung galit niya. And hindi ito yung parang, let's just kill a few people para
Hindi.
maglabas lang ng galit. As in, this is a systematic annihilation of the Jews by the tens of thousands.
Right.
Massacre to.
So he killed a lot of men, women, infants, di ba? Ganun ang mga pinagagawa niya.
Yeah, lahat, dami. And then, tinigil niya yung worship kay Yahweh. He set up an image of Zeus in the temple and then offered a pig.
Right.
Nag-offer ng baboy, which the Jews considered as unclean. Kaya dito yung set up the abomination that makes desolate. Dinikdik niya talaga yung galit niya against the people of Israel. Finally, verse 32 to 35. He shall seduce with flattery those who violate the covenant, but the people who know their God shall stand firm and take action. Maraming Jews nakakampi kay Antiochus Epiphanes through flattery, intrigue. Pero marami rin na faithful who know their God, who stood firm and
Right.
fought against
Oo.
Antiochus Epiphanes. But even with that, ang daming casualties ng labanan na to.
Ang nangyari pala dito, nahati yung mga Jews.
Right.
Merong kumampi kasi na-deceive sila ni Antiochus Epiphanes eh. Siguro naglabas ng fake news yung bilib na bilib naman yung mga
Or siguro
Israelites
pinagbabayad din, di ba?
Actually,
Parang-
yes. Actually, sinabi dito, he also rewarded those Jews who supported the Hellenistic policies, like the high priest. Parang pinagbabayad niya talaga.
Binili yung loyalty.
Yes.
Oo. 33 to 35, ito yung may panahon na under Antiochus Epiphanes, where false believers are sorted from true believers. And yung refining method is suffering and persecution. Doon magkakatalo kung sino yung totoo sa peke.
So parang nagkaroon dyan ng distinction between the wheat and the tares.
Right.
Yes.
Yung mga huwad at saka yung talagang mga tapat kay Yahweh. Nakita dyan. Ano?
And that's why dito, so that they may be refined, purified, and made white
Made
until the
spotless.
time of the end.
That's correct.
The ones who were fake, the ones who were on the fence, they fell away. Pero the ones who were really committed, mas na-purify pa sila. Mas naging matatag palalo sila.
Meron ding iba nagsasabi na ito siguro yung panahon ng Maccabean Revolt.
Maccabean Revolt, yeah.
Mukha nga naman, totoo nga naman. Pero ang mahalagang leksyon dito, yung sinasabi sa verse 35 of refinement and purification. Sa hinaba-haba, nung paghimay-himay natin ng mga very detailed descriptions of everything that transpired in history, yung history ng lugar na yun, na ipit yung Israel, ito lang pala ang gustong puntiryahin. The refinement and purification of God's people. Bakit kailangang maging detalyado pa yung narration ng mga events na mangyayari instead of just broad strokes?
One thing na nakita ko dito is God want to ipakita yung history. Ito yung mangyayari. Ang malaking bagay ito, hindi siguro sa panahon pa ni Daniel, but sa panahon natin, magbe-verify na these records are really true. And sa macro perspective, ito yung nakikita ng mundo, ito yung nakikita ng history. But God is, hindi ako wala dyan. Andyan ako. And actually, I'm using that for this particular purpose sa dulong-dulo for my people.
From the greater scheme of things, from the perspective of eternity, ang bibilis lang yan. Actually, mga power nilang yan, saglit lang yan. Wala ngang kwenta yan. Mabibilis na mawawala sa kanila yan. And this predicted course will give confidence to the follower of Yahweh. Because it demonstrates that, look, everything, especially the future, is secure in the hand of God. Hindi naman nagugulat ang Diyos sa mga yan eh.
Yes.
Hindi naman siya nagulat na, uy,
Mm.
sino to? Antayo ko sa Epiphanies na to. Hindi ko to kilala. No, kilala niya lahat yan. Di ba?
Kaya,
Alam niya yung mga gagawin ng mga yan. Because the future is secure in His hands. Oo, mahihirapan kayo. Oo, aapak-apakan kayo. At palagi namang, yun ang kwento ng mga the most vulnerable in society. Sila yung palagi na apak-apakan ng mga makapangyarihan. Lahat ng ginagawa nila na gusto na mangyari, sina Antiochus, wala. Asa na sila ngayon? They're all gone. Ito yung mga tares. Ang loyalty natin should never be to any human being. Kahit gaano pang kapangyarihan yan, kahit gaano pa siyang influential, ang loyalty natin palagi kay Yahweh, huwag nating i-dilute yun.
yeah.
We don't put our trust in man. We put our trust in God.
What happened here was yung hindi kumampi kay Epiphanes. Kawawa sila.
Sila yung kinawawa. Kita mo yung ginamit na terms, no? They may be refined, purified, and made spotless. Again, paulit-ulit nating sinasabi, God's goal for us is not our personal happiness, but holiness. Na kahit ano pa yung circumstances na yan, problema ang pinagdadaanan natin, ang iisipin natin, I'm not here in this world to attain happiness because God's goal for me is holiness, to become like His Son, Jesus.
And it's so hard to say it. That could really include a lot of persecution,
Mm-mm.
a lot of suffering.
Kasama yan. Kasama yan.
Kasama siya. Yun yung refining. Doon magkakatalo talaga sino yung totoo at sino yung hindi.
Right.
Daniel 11, 1-35 is really reminding me to be prepared. To grow a Christianity that is for the long game.
Mm-mm.
Oo.
So add lang din dong kay Coach kanina. And also, this is one of my main takeaway here sa Daniel 11 talaga. Is yung matatagpuan sa verse 32. Sinabi dito, He shall seduce with flattery those who violate the covenant, but the people who know their God shall stand firm. And
Yes.
ito talaga yung dumiin sa akin eh. Kasi sa panahon natin ngayon, sa mga nangyayari sa paligid natin, madali lang mawala eh. Maisama sa agos. Ito yung sikat ngayon, ito yung superpower ngayon. So para hindi na tayo makaramdam ng inconvenience o ng persecution or anything, hindi mahirapan, I'll subscribe to this, I'll accept this. Even madali lang for us sa panahon natin, makarinig ng mga preaching na magsasabi sa atin, ito gawin mo, lakihan mo lang faith mo, gawin mo to, parang magbigay ka lang na mas madami o hindi na ano yung, parang these are the times na ginagamit ng Panginoon to really know sino ba talaga yung mga taong sa akin. And one thing for sure na malalaman ko sino yung mga tao na sinasabi dito na marirefine are those people who know their God. Kilala nila kung sino yung Diyos nila.
The Bible according to social
Yes.
media, no? Parang ganun.
Parang they just, habang mas madami yung persecution, mas madami yung nangyayari, high time for Christians to really dig deeper, know more, really get whatever they can or kailangan nila sa Bible and kung sino yung Diyos nila.
Mm-mm.
Yes, ang ganda talaga. But the people who know their
Oo.
God shall stand firm and take action. And yun nga, kilala ba talaga natin tong si Jesus Christ?
Oo.
Kilala ba talaga natin? Or yung feeding lang ba natin is just whatever's on social media or yung sinabi lang ni ganito
Right.
or mga feelings lang natin, di ba? Do we really know? And I think it's really a call for us to dig deep sa Bible and know who God is. And I think to end Daniel 11, 1-35, let me read a quote by J.I. Packer. To know that nothing happens in God's world apart from God's will may frighten the godless, but it stabilizes the saints. Yung sovereignty ni God, nakakatakot para sa mga taong hindi naniniwala sa Panginoon.
Right.
Pero para sa atin, the only thing that is really keeping me from going insane is really the character of God as we study Daniel.
Mhm,
Such a security,
Right.
such stability
Mhm.
in who God is that in the end of it all, itong mga kasamaan na nangyari, it is appointed and it's only appointed for a short time. Let's look at the long game and God is in control. May that give us stability and comfort.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode at sana marami kayong napulot na aral.
And we'll hope to see you on the next episode as we end the book of Daniel finally.
Wow.
Grabe! So the next episode will be Daniel 11 verses 36 onward and then 12.
Chapter
Yung buong
12, yeah.
na. If you've been listening to Daniel, hope you stay tuned as we finish together the book of Daniel. See you.
See you.
And God bless.
God bless.
You have listened to the UCM Interface Bible Study here at 702 DZAS FEBC Radio TV, Agapay ng Sambayanan. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 702 DZAS FEBC Radio TV, and Facebook account, 702 DZAS FEBC Radio. Hear our full episodes on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, at marami pang iba. Join us at Union Church of Manila, Rada, Corner Legazpi, Makati City.